Well, I guess my final report on ratings for the closing ceremony of the Olympics is just going to have to wait until tomorrow. This is the second time I've been interrupted researching that video. Once again, I'm doing my research and another story comes across my news feed, catches my attention, and I wanted to get to it immediately. I'm just sitting there, typing up my notes, when my Fox News app sends me a notification. It's talking about Devin Funchess, who's now a receiver in Green Bay. Now, obviously, my first thought is, what the hell is Fox News doing talking about Devin Funchess, especially in early August? I mean, I'm glad they alerted me. The article was well worth reading. It was just odd. It was actually written by Joe Kinsey over at Outkick. On Sunday afternoon, Devin Funchess was giving a press conference to the media. During the conference, something is asked by a reporter. I can't tell what the question was or if it was a question at all. It might have just been a statement. Either way, Devin Funchess replies. He's smiling. He's in kind of a jovial mood, joking around. And he says that I can tell when you guys in the media are smiling because your eyes get all chinky. He does the little slant-eyed motion with his hands to his face. Look, Devin Funchess didn't mean anything by this. This wasn't something said or done in anger. He wasn't meaning to be disrespectful to Asian people. Hell, I don't even think he realized that he was saying anything that could even be misconstrued as being racist. But this is 2021, and in case you haven't received the memo, everything is racist. However, there wasn't anything said about this Devin Funchess press conference. He even issued the typical apology, the same apology that everybody issues when the woke get offended about something. But it's weird, because the woke, they weren't offended by Devin Funchess. Matter of fact, this story has received basically no mainstream press coverage. Here we are, 48 hours later, and most people, myself included, are just now hearing about this. If it wasn't for Joon Lee, who's a staff writer at ESPN, I know, hard to believe, but we wouldn't know about this incident at all if Joon Lee didn't call attention to it. He called out the mainstream media. Now, he didn't mention ESPN by name, obviously, because he works there, but he was calling out ESPN too. Joon Lee called out the media for the lack of press coverage around Devin Funchess and this racial slur. The question is, why is this story not receiving any media attention? Where the hell's Stephen A. Smith? Where's Captain Woke, Shannon Sharp? Where's Skip Bayless? Where's ESPN? Where's CNN? Where's MSNBC? Where's Don Lemon? Where's Chris Cuomo? Where's Rachel Maddow? Where are all the usual subjects? Didn't we just have a renewed push, last month or so, when the media and the woke were focusing on anti-Asian slurs and racism? How come there isn't 24-hour coverage about Devin Funchess? The damn media, they're still talking about the Colorado Rockies fan, and he's innocent. Even with video evidence, the woke media is continuing to try and make this into a racial incident. Lewis Brinson, he's running around pretending to be a victim of racism. He's an irrelevant bum, just one guy. If you look at things through the woke lens, Devin Funchess, he offended an entire race of people, not just one person. Where is the outrage? Where are the blue check marks on Twitter? This should be a trending story, right? I'm about to give you a couple of reasons why this is not a big story. Devin Funchess offending Asians doesn't fit the woke agenda. This isn't a narrative they want to push. They're not going to go after a black guy for being racist. And again, I don't think Devin Funchess was being racist. You get what I'm saying, though. The media is not going to go after a black guy for something like this. Why? Because Devin Funchess is in a protected class. According to the far left, he is a victim of lifelong oppression by a systemically racist system. If he does something wrong or says something wrong, It's not his fault. It's just a reaction to being oppressed his entire life. We can't hold him accountable. That doesn't fit our narrative. Let's bury this story. Pretend it never happened. What we'll do, we'll keep the Lewis Brinson story alive instead. Another reason, this is not a white man using a racial slur against a black person or an Asian person. Dude, if Cole Beasley had said something like this, Roger Goodell would suspend him for the entire season without an investigation. It would come down 12 hours later, especially after Cole Beasley has spent the last few weeks calling out the NFL over their ridiculous COVID policies. The standard is different if you're white. If you're white, you are not allowed to say anything. Case in point, Yuli Gurriel. Probably not pronouncing that right. Yuli Gurriel is a Cuban baseball player, Major League Baseball. Last year during the World Series, he's in the dugout and cameras caught him doing the little slant eye gesture. Rob Manfred suspended him. Not for the World Series, though. No. He's in a protected class. We can't punish him too hard. We will let you serve your suspension at the beginning of next year. If Mike Trout had done the same thing, Rob Manfred would have suspended him for the World Series. I would be willing to bet most of you didn't even know about Yuli Gurriel. It didn't receive much coverage last October. I didn't know about it until Joon Lee referenced the incident when he was talking about Devin Funchess. ESPN heavily covered the incident with that Rockies fan. We've talked about it twice today. Once it was discovered that this wasn't an incident at all, ESPN spent just over 90 seconds correcting the story. Now, mind you, they spent all that time covering the story, calling that fan a racist, then spent a minute and a half on the correction. And ESPN wonders why ratings are so low. They wonder why they are culturally irrelevant. There used to be a policy within the media. It wasn't always adhered to or enforced, but there used to be a policy where networks like ESPN or Fox Sports would refuse to cover stupid things that fans did at sporting events. The thinking was they didn't want to give people attention for doing something stupid because then it would just encourage more people to do the same thing, so they'd get their 15 minutes of fame. The media still follows this policy for streaking fans or fans that throw bottles onto fields, things like that. But when it comes to a fan doing or saying something that fits into the woke agenda, the racial agenda, there is wall-to-wall coverage. Hell, there's wall-to-wall coverage even when the fan says nothing racist and the media just wants to make the whole thing up. It seems I begin sentences like this multiple times a day now because this is happening with so much regularity. But this Devin Funchess situation is another example of woke media bias. You don't even have to be woke for the media to bury your story. I found no evidence of Devin Funchess being on the far left. All you have to do is not fit into the agenda, and the media will cover for you. I don't think Devin Funchess should be canceled. I don't even think he should be criticized or punished. He didn't mean anything by what he said. If you were offended by it, that is your problem, not his. You've got to take things into context. Context matters. It is obvious when you watch the video, Devin Funchess was not being malicious. He was joking around with the media. He meant nothing by what he said. So I don't think he should be punished. The problem is the media doesn't cover stories like this about race equally. They pick and choose who they want to cancel over supposed racism, and if you're a target, they will go after you relentlessly. You will only be a target if you're a white guy saying something that could be construed as racist about a black person. If it doesn't fit that criteria, the media has absolutely no interest in your story. There is a reason that this channel and the other few channels here on YouTube that are similar to mine, there is a reason that we are growing at the rate we're growing. You don't get opinions like this from the media, especially the sports media. Name one mainstream sports media outlet that covers news the way we cover it here on the channel. There's not one. It's the reason that we're growing and ESPN is on a rapid decline. We're going to continue to call out the media over situations like this. And I encourage you guys, please keep sending me ideas. I can't do this all by myself. This is happening with so much regularity now that it is impossible for one person to keep up with all the news. So if you see breaking news, send it to me. And don't get discouraged if I don't use one of your ideas. I pick the best ones and the most relevant, but no idea is a bad idea. So send anything you can find. I get a lot of them, so don't get discouraged if I don't pick the first one that you send. I appreciate the continued support. I really do. We're getting close to 10,000 subscribers now. I can't believe it. I thought it was going to take another 2 years minimum to reach that point, if we ever did. But we have gained, I think it was somewhere around 7,000 or 8,000 subscribers in the last 28 days. We might get to 10,000 by the end of the week. The channel's growing. I appreciate the support from you guys. Thank you for continuing to share the content. All right, time to let me know what you think. Give me your thoughts on the media burying the Devin Funchess story. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.